Hi, this is Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel. I have something new to share with you today, something I'm really excited about. This is something new that I'm going to be doing in my shop occasionally, and I'm calling it Pandora's Box. I'm going to do lots of different styles and sizes and types of this, but this is the first one that I'm doing. It's quite large, and pretty much it's a box full of paper crafting junk journal goodies from my craft room that I've created or I have curated for your pleasure. The box is also decorated and beautiful as well. And this is a magnetic, I hope I can get it all in frame without showing you too much of my dirty floor. There we go. Okay, so it's about 11.5 by 10.5. If you want to know the size, it's actually one of those Project Life magnetic boxes that I repurposed. And this is the top. I'm calling this my lady's garden, and it is just pinks and flowers and all sorts of junk journal goodness. So here is the front, and this little keyhole is embossed, and there is a little key on this little tag from Above Par Crafts. It's like a little sales tag. And then this is a printable from SenecaPondCrafts, and I have an applique, lots of different flowers and buttons and lace, and there's a pearlized paper in the background. The stitching, I don't know if you can see that. It's beautiful. And then, I'm going to try to do this without ruining what's inside. There's a giant paper ribbon here, stitched here on the front. The sides are done in this beautiful floral paper, and the back is the polka dot. There's all stitched around, and then beautiful floral paper there. The bottom, which I think I will show you afterwards in case anything gets messed up on the inside. Okay, so let's get into it. So here's what you're getting. Try to get this. So you have a beautiful coffee dyed paper here, and you can actually journal on this if you want to. This would be great for putting in smaller junk journals or things like that. And so you can write on that what this is going to hold. I'm going to go through everything in here because I put a lot of stuff in here. So this is like, I'm guessing it's vintage. It's like, I think it's a belt buckle, but it's this gold kind of vintagey. I got it in a bunch of junk jewelry. It's a big rose. And then here's a glassine bag that is decorated, and there's a whole bunch of little goodies in it. This is from SenecaPondCrafts. There's Project Life cards, some stitching, tags, word punch outs, all sorts of goodies in there. And of course you have the glassine bag. And then there's some vintage Rolodex cards that I've inked and stamped for you. There are 3 of them. They're all the same. And then there's some guest checks from Above Par Crafts. I believe there's 3. And then a SenecaPondCraft ticket. A little bit of sequin trim and a gold clip. There's a brand new, I don't believe this has been used. If it has, it's only been like once, but it looks really new. A To From stamp, which is great to put in your journals. Some purple Post-it notes, and then I added some trim and a flower, so you have all of these. A little punch of an umbrella or a parasol. And then there's these spare parts charms, like a lady would have before she got ready to go work out in her garden. Some trims, and this is a greeting card, a blank greeting card under it that you can use. There's 3 kinds of trims here. Here's a little organza bag with 20 buttons, different really pretty buttons in there. There's some gold washi. Here's a little flower. Here is a charm. You can see that. Like a tassel charm. Here's a whole bunch of coffee dyed tags. I love making tags like this. and I just added a heart and a key and some other things. The garment pin comes off and you can use all of the pieces individually. There's a lot in here. Teresa Collins Studio Gold blue matchbook stickers. These are like a whole bunch of sheets of these alpha stickers, so you can make your own words in your journals. And then I glued on a little flower to make it extra pretty. And then you get some Tim Holtz people, and then there's a paper clip there. I don't even know where to go next. Okay, so this was like a vintage pillow cover, and so I cut it up. There's a whole bunch of little pieces of this upholstery for you to use in your journals, and then there's a safety pin that's pinning on the lace and the flower. Here's a whole bunch of like this floral eyelet. It's repurposed from a skirt that I thrifted. And then I pinned on this flower so that can all be taken off. I think there's 4 squares of that. I love using it as a background in my journals. Some page flags. These are new. This is another organza bag, and this is like a vintage spool of thread that I got from my local quilt shop, and then I made a little stick pin with like a rose and a red bead, and that's just slipped in there. These are some ArtyMaze tags that I stitched around and added ribbon to, and some glimmer mist paper on the back. I told you there's a lot in here. There's 2 coffee dyed index cards with some digital Collage Club ovals. There's some lace behind that, so those are beautiful. Some game cards from a game called You've Been Sentenced, and it has like words on the back, and then a little yellow rose clip. There's a whole bunch of these tags. They're all coordinating, and they have lace and buttons. So you get a whole bunch of those. And then there's some pearls and hearts. And then these are a bunch of butterfly punch outs, and they're this really pretty cardstock that has like little bits of, they look like petals or flowers or something. And then there's vintage French English dictionary pages stitched on top of that, and you can cut them out in between each other to use all of them. Some paper ribbons. 2 tags that look like this, and there's lace and flowers on them. I love adding these in my journals. It's just a couple of note papers, and then they're stitched with a floral stitch across the top. So you just add hot glue and put it right onto the page. This is a hymn book envelope. You can put things in. It's stitched around. Vintage dashboard for your journal. 1950s book pages. Here is a little jewelry box that I recovered with some vintage looking printable paper. I added some trim, and then inside is just a bunch of beads and bits and bobs and things like that to use on making your tassels and in your journals. Oh, and this is like a flower clip. I thought these were really cute. It says, "Oh, darling." It has that adorable little girl, and these are all like acetate letters. And then there are a bunch of book pages, and there's lace and a flower. There's this little like lady in her garden. There's some Brahms music. There's a whole bunch of like floral book pages. And then this is how I did the bottom. It's like stitched, zigzag stitched, and it's like a vintage pillowcase. So I thought that was really pretty. So let me show you what the bottom of this looks like now. Right there. There's like a tulle, a white tulle here, and then the pink cardstock and the paper doily from SenecaPondCrafts, and then my mark. So I thought it would be a whole lot of fun to make these Pandora boxes full of all these goodies, and this one's called My Lady's Garden. I have other ideas for the future. This will have to ship like in a priority box. It is much bigger than what I normally ship in, so the shipping will be more expensive because it's heavier and it's bigger, and I want to make sure that I protect it. But I hope that you love it as much as I loved making it, so I hope you have a lovely day.